Welcome, everyone, to the wrestling show. I'm your pissed off host. I'm Cav Manning. You could find all of my nonsense is at Lingus Mafia, because that's where I go, because we don't talk about wrestling over there. But you fucking nerds, you like to listen to wrestling shows, but apparently you don't care that much about wrestling, because not one person reached out to us other than a friend of ours who was on a text message with us. Nobody reached out and said, why is there no wrestling show this week? I'm missing my wrestling show with my pals Billy and Cav. By the way, that's actually, Billy Body over there.
What he said was, I take it you guys have finally quit on this.
Yes,
so
and that's more proper, because I wrote back with, I only fucking wish, because the chore we have to fucking review this trash, and it is fucking trash. I'd rather put all my efforts into Podcast on a Pole, which, by the way, a new episode will be out Monday, than watching the new garbage. I'm in the middle of WrestleMania 13 right now, Billy. I'm almost done with that month. I want to get ahead a month, actually, to tell you the truth, so we're always ahead one. So it's not a fucking, we're worried about it when a pay-per-view creeps up real quickly. We'll be ahead. But nobody fucking cares. So I'm wondering, Billy, should we give a fuck about doing this show if apparently no one cares enough to even say, how come there isn't a show? You guys could go listen to all the other garbage fucking review shows out there and not have us to do this, because I don't know why I'm hurting myself by doing this trash show. I had to work yesterday late, and with our time difference, it's 8 hours difference. So we got to start at 2 to 3, something like that, because it's fucking 10 o'clock for Billy at 2 o'clock. So that's why it didn't go up right away. But guess what? I guarantee we could have disappeared this fucking week and not a fucking word will be said. We won't lie to you and go, oh, all these people, they, hounding us. This is the most popular show. The funny thing is the numbers we get are fucking high, but nobody participate as in to fucking say anything. Here and there, I'll get a tweet over at Lingus Mafia asking something about the show, because most of the time Billy's Twitter always gets fucking disabled and shit, so they got to come to me. But I'm like, when you get that nobody fucking says anything and nobody is, where's the show? It makes you say, I'd rather do something that is appreciated and that I enjoy to do. I mean, we will be watching Raw, obviously, because we're fucking assholes, Billy, and we will never stop watching because we've grown up with this and we just take our fucking abuse. We're a beaten fucking wife, and Vince beats us and we take it.
Well, I've got something to say about that, actually.
Go ahead.
I just moved into my new apartment, which has taken 8 months to fucking finalize due to COVID and everything. And I suppose it's the same thing in the US. You have chains, and one guy buys one guy's house, one guy buys another guy's house. There's people leaving and moving all at the same time, and you can't break the chain. If somebody decides they're going to keep their house, or they can't afford to buy one of the houses they're buying, the whole chain breaks down.
Yeah, that's a problem.
This chain I was in was down multiple times. And each time I was going, well, I'm going to pull out the chain unless you take off $5,000, and I'm going to pull out the chain again unless you take down $2,000. In the end, we got to a weird figure of, I don't need to say what it is. I don't need to tell people how much my place costs, but
2.4 million. I'll tell everyone. That's okay, Billy. Go ahead.
Yeah,
don't be modest.
I will say, I'm not going to, because I did pay for it outright. So for those guys who want to
say you're broke,
yeah, hate on me and criticize our shows and say, you're a Big Brother reject and all this kind of bullshit you hear.
You pulled a Randy Moss out there, right? Straight cash, homie.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't have a mortgage anymore, so whatever fucking cash I get, it's all for me, apart from my broadband bills and car insurance and some bullshit. But yeah, so that's what was the big hold up in that. But I've been renting my whole life ever since I did Big Brother. Obviously I rented when I went away to university. I shared the house with some guys, so I didn't I had no wrestling stuff in my room. But as soon as I, did Big Brother and then was able to rent all by myself with no friends at all, I just always fucking had a lot of space dedicated to wrestling, especially the living room with the plaques and the signed figures being up and everything. And you know what? The girls came in, I'd be like, well, first of all, it was like, my attitude was, I've been on TV. I can get away with it. They're going to fuck me anyway. They're going to fuck me even if they're fucking white power racists. Like, the ratio of when you do TV and when you don't do TV is so different that these girls are fucking you just because you've been on TV.
Yeah.
There's some they're going to hate beards, long hairs, or actually Oasis haircuts. And, there's not going to be that at the time. That's not going to be the thing at all, but they're still going to like go ahead of it. Like I look at like when I did the show, like I had my old nose and teeth and I don't like it. So, like,
my old nose, teeth, and hair. Like Mr. Potato Head.
The hair was fine at the time.
That Oasis hair? Was that in England back then? I guess in England it was, yeah.
Of course.
Michael McDonald.
But listen, when I came over to the first few Manias, I came over for that hair and I went out to bars and stuff. I had no problem like hooking up. So it wasn't just a UK thing. But the thing is that so my point is I've gone from rented accommodation to rented accommodation. I've taken my wrestling stuff with me. I've had a shelf that has always been set in the center. It's had Flair, Hogan, Brett, Michaels, and Austin on it.
Brett Michaels from Poison?
Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan. They've all that shelf I've always recreated in the center because I've got figures of them signed and figures that I put in front of them. You've seen the setup I always go for. It's pictures around I have the Sign Warrior title belt, whatever. Mm-hmm. The Sign Warrior title belt, which I took to my dad's, I left there. I haven't transported it over yet. The cabinets that I had, I've now, I've got rid of. I'm the only one I'm keeping. I got one 300-pound cabinet that Austin's having. He's still going to put his wrestlers up in his room. I have now condensed all of my wrestlers into one cabinet. I have chosen 2 out of the 6 WrestleMania plaques that I bought from WrestleMania that I went to put up. I've gone from 2 from WrestleMania 30, Brock and Daniel Bryan. CM Punk's 334-day run, Ronda Rousey, Seth Rollins' cash-in, 2 Undertaker plaques, and a plaque from WrestleMania 24 with all the winners on it. I think I got a couple more. I got an Austin WrestleMania 15 or something. I have got more than I said, but some of those weren't up anyway.
What is out? What's on display?
Just Bryan for winning the title at 30 and Brock winning at 30. I kept the 2 30s together. Everything else I've put away. Austin's bits are going to go up in his room, but I have about 7 or 8 pictures away. I have 200 figures in storage. The only figures that are going to be out are going to be in one specific case that I've got. It's a metallic case. I love this. I love the cabinet. It holds 125. That's it. Wrestling is going to be conduced to one corner. It's going to be the wrestling corner. You'll have to walk around the entire flat until you come to it. It's right in the corner there. I even bought an arcade game, but I did get it in the WrestleFest skin because at least that makes me happy when I remember that. So yeah, it's completely different. And the thing is that I look forward to buying my own place. And when you buy your own place, you go full commitment with the decor. I'm no longer buying these I've always bought these single chairs like Joey and Chandler had. I've always transferred these my leather recliners. Now I have a Chesterfield sofa which is £1,300. I've always wanted a Chesterfield, and everything that I wanted to buy I've done for this house. I'm having wooden flooring put in. I'm had just bought this huge Pepsi crate. I've got humongous TVs. I've got it's like a proper man cave, and the only part of it is that I'm not getting my big signed pictures of wrestlers and stuff are being put away. I'm not going to have this painting that I wanted to get done that I wanted to buy with Hogan and Mr. T, which was going to be a big thing that I always wanted to do. And I thought, when I move and I own my place, I'm going to buy that painting and put it in the center of the room. Yeah, none of it's there. None of the stuff that I plan to do. I'm not going to buy that painting. I'm going to leave it. Most of the plaques are away. The figures are away. I'm not putting up that display. Like the main figures are just going to be facing out the front of the cabinet. The DVD, all the wrestling DVDs and videotapes, like they're going to be either in my dad's loft or I'm going to maintain my storage unit for them. What else? I've got a Hulk Hogan and a cartoon Hulk Hogan and Sergeant Slaughter throw that I bought that I used to use as a rug. And like now it's like just on my bed, but like, you know, when I'm not using it, it can just be under my ottoman bed. Like my point is that everything is away or in storage or in a corner dedicated to wrestling. It looks like my kid watches it and like I'm kind of like giving him a little bit of the living room because like maybe this is something that he's into. There's no signs here now that I am the fan, or at least not the fan that I've been for 30 years that does a podcast about it, or that's been to Mania after Mania after Mania, or is plowed and, you know, roughly, you know, I've spent around £60,000 going to Manias over the last few years since 2005. Like I've only missed 2.
Yeah.
And one of them was because nobody went. So
and the other one was Dallas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's all down to this current product. Like I don't enjoy it at all. Like I don't resonate with anybody. When they like bring back the people that I do like, and you know, if I'm talking about these characters in WrestleFest, I'm talking about, you know, the Hogans and all the people of that era. So, you know, we had Hogan and Flair back recently, and I think Flair's only link to that era of WWE was when he came in and won the Rumble. But still, they make everybody look like goofs. They don't acknowledge like their fucking history at all. Like all these guys get completely wasted. I don't know. I don't. It's almost they can't see my flat. They may hear the show, but they can't see my flat or anything, right? But I am staging a protest without them knowing about it. Like I don't have the choice to not watch. I do have the choice to not go to shows or not buy T-shirts or DVDs or you know, just generally the merchandise. So obviously the ticket thing's not on the table at the moment either. But yeah, I mean, this is the only thing that I can do. I don't want to be dedicating something to something where it seems like it's had its time. Like other shows in entertainment have moved straight past it. Well, it's always been a case of all our lives. It's been a case of, oh, have you seen this? Have you seen that? It's like, yeah, I have seen that, but I still watch wrestling because it provides me with something completely different. It's like, oh, I bet your show doesn't do this, or I bet your show doesn't do that. Every show does what this show does and does better. This show does nothing that they do instead. It's completely switched up. Whereas we used to have like the mad stuff, like, okay, maybe you didn't like it, but like, you know, Katie Vick wasn't getting fucked on the other TV shows.
Yeah.
Like whether you liked it or not, they've always had something different. Like even from when it had like fucking a clown turning heel. Like I realized that came after it. Now I'm older, but at the time I hadn't seen that. I didn't know what it was in 93. Sure. Obviously, like it predates Raw, but the fact they even were on cue with that and thought, oh yeah, look, evil clown, it works in this. You know, it was. I don't know if Stephen King's It was pop culture or not, but at least the company were able to like do their own twist on it until he turned babyface. All throughout, especially when you're looking at the era that we're doing on Podcast and the Poll, they've been cutting edge. Now they're just backwards. They're copycatting all of the other shit. Oh, look, Bad Bunny sells records. We'll bring him in and we'll give him our terrible fucking script. Like, you knew him and Mandy had never met each other. Like, there was no way, you'd watch that segment and go, and with certain people, even the Bellas, as much as you hate them, right? When they used to like cling on to celebrities, you'd be like, those fucking whores are fucking all the celebrities. Like, they're sucking all. Like, you believed that they were. Like, they just had a whorish quality, or at least they were able to like pull it off to make you think that, you know, they really were like that. Like they really were gold diggers or whatever. They were good at that. I don't even think they needed to act too much because, you know, I've seen them on TV and look who their boyfriends were, and you know that was in them. But at least if it was, literally, at least they were playing characters that were close to the chest. Nobody now is playing any character. No one can act. The show's fucking shit. It's littered with matches I don't care about. I don't want it in my house. I don't want to look at it any more than I do on Tuesday morning and Saturday morning. Tuesday morning and Saturday morning is when I watch it. I'll stay up for the pay-per-view. It's enhanced by the fact you can bet on it. If it wasn't, if you couldn't gamble on it, there's no way I'd even stay up for pay-per-views.
And I don't know if you would stay up for pay-per-views that are just middle of the road. Like Elimination Chamber is fun because it's a special type of thing that we're watching.
I'd stay up for anything. I'd stay up for anything you can gamble on. I'd stay up and watch. I watch like. I watch teams in the NFL when it's like 4-7 against like 2-9.
Yeah, but that's real. I don't know. I'm like, for me, before I remember, I used to always be like, there is a pay-per-view scheduled. I am not doing anything with any women. Nothing. I am busy that day. Same thing with Raw. Oh, hoes want to come over or something. No, it's Monday. I'm busy. I'm doing something. Now, I'll be like, unless it's SummerSlam, WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, I do not need to be at the house when fucking Sunday it's airing. That's okay. I'll catch it later. Those are the ones I need to be surprised about and all that kind of stuff. Otherwise, I'll catch it when I get home. I'll watch it on on demand now that you could do that. But Monday, I'm still, it's time for Monday because mostly, I think for the most part, it's because of this show. Because we usually record on Tuesday. So I don't have 3 hours when I get home on Tuesday because I get home and we go right to the show. So, and for me, I got the West Coast feed. So I get it at 6 p.m. and it ends at 8. I'm telling you, it's oversaturation. If this was once a week, all we got, one thing, I think it would be a lot more important and we would want it. And if it was only fucking 2 hours, I will fucking die.
You know what? I'm done with the oversaturation thing too. Like, yeah, okay, it's oversaturated, but the thing is that you have enough people to make it good. Like you should be able to fill out this time. And like you used to fill out this time in the early stages of 3 hours. It was no way as repetitive and as bad as this. And like even the whole Thunderdome and
it was still bad. It was still bad. I remember doing a show and we had Raw count down 3 hours because I said how long before they go back to 2. So I mean we had Tensai back then, so it wasn't the fucking greatest, but. This does have to be the worst they've gotten to.
It's just pointless. There's just so much pointless shit on it. Like I am watching a 10-year-old lose interest in this. So I mean, even with that side of it, like when I was, might seem irrelevant to people are going, "Why is this guy talking about like we don't give a fuck what's in his house?" Listen to what I'm saying to you. All this stuff has been purchased. It has been put up in every flat. It's been put up at times where I was fucking constantly. 4 or 5 women a week were looking at it, right? It was happening all the time. Now I have a kid. He's into it too. Shouldn't it be more up? Like, shouldn't it be doubled in terms of, look, I'm not fucking people that much anymore. Like, I'm more like grown up. My kid spends more time with me instead. He's into it too. We should be creating a man cave, which is like dedicated, like half of it should be dedicated to wrestling, seeing as we have the stuff to it. Yeah. And finally, like we can create like a huge like wrestling room. Like I see these guys on Instagram and they've got all their figures in big wrestling rooms on, Zack Ryder.
Zack Ryder, yeah. There you go.
I actually want to move away from that. Like I want to be less like Zack Ryder. I don't want to compete now. I want to I look at that and think,
what's wrong
really?
with you?
You're doing all that for this. Have you watched this lately? Like it's
I understand if it's the old shit though. Like if you stopped at 2000 or 2010 and just got everything from then and before, nothing since. Then I could fucking understand it too, because you go, well, I'm collecting the good old days and the good stuff, and everybody knows those people, all that. I mean, back in the day,
but I don't think that's possible, Cav. You can't disattach it from the modern product because it's the same company. You can't say, oh, I used to watch this and I have all this old stuff, and someone goes, well, do you watch it now? No, I just decorate my house with all the old stuff from there. It's stupid. It's like being a big Star Wars fan and not watching the new Star Wars movies and going, oh, you know, and people are going, oh, yeah, but do you watch Mandalorian? And then you'd be like, no, I don't watch none of the new stuff.
Yeah, I mean, but you could say, like, I'm not collecting the new shit. Like, yeah, I watch it to see what's going on, but I'm fucking, I mean, it is what it is.
That's my point. That's my point, Cav. It's so bad that not only am I not buying stuff from, like, all the old people, it has tainted the old stuff. Like, I don't want the connection of, like, it's still Vince McMahon. It's still Vince McMahon, Stephanie McMahon. It's still the same people. Like, I don't want to acknowledge that. I don't want to acknowledge them in my home. Like, it's like I said to you at the beginning of this like tirade. It's like a silent protest against people that won't see it. But the fact is that I know that I'm not giving them any more. I know that I'm not giving my fucking house space to things that Vince McMahon has created. At least that, for me, is doing a very fucking small part in terms of speaking out or in somewhat speaking out against the product. And that's the thing, like, even when I do my shows with Vince and stuff, it won't be in front of these wrestling backgrounds and things anymore. Like, yeah, I mean, in saying that, like that I did spend another £1,000 on something wrestling orientated this week, but it's an old WrestleFest machine. It's just the skin. It was my favorite skin out of the lot. It was also my favorite game out of everything that was on there. And I don't think that the WWE see a penny out of sales of WrestleFest machines in fucking 2021. So yeah. But I don't know. I just thought it was when you were saying, you know, when you were making your point, you know, I thought it was worth mentioning how I feel.
You know, like, before I could say that I have pictures of when I first moved to California. I was 12. My entire room is, remember the Superstars magazine, Superstars 4, 5, and it was just 8x10s of everybody, and on the other page it would have the fucking, you know, stats. I cut out every picture, and I had them, my whole wall. I would buy every poster. I would get that poster book. I would have it, my ceilings were covered. It was the entire room covered with all wrestling. Now, the wrestling I have in this room right now, because I have a man cave, I have the Austin plaque from Mania, and I have that big autograph Hogan and Warrior Mania 6 picture that I've showed you when framed and up. And I have 4 belts that I've gotten throughout years. And other than that, it's all football. The room is football. I have a Batman thing. I have an Iron Man thing. I have, you know, it's all football stuff. I got the rings of football. I got all my football hats. I got jerseys signed all over the walls. That's it. I will not have collectible shit. And what's funny is I went to my mother's attic today to get comic books. Somebody at work said, do you have old comic books? You want to buy them? And I'm like, yeah, they're in the fucking attic. I got to hunt them. I pulled out a couple autographed fucking 8x10s that I had in there. Kane, a signed 8x10. The Rock, signed. And the New Age Outlaws, signed fucking 8x10, holding the belts. Before they even had t-shirts, it was those spray paint fucking shirts. I found those autographs in the fucking thing. I'm like, I pulled those out and took them back with me. I don't think I'm going to be hanging them anywhere, but I just wanted to get them out of there. So that's it for me too. I don't, and then the other walls can, you know, all TVs, that, you know, 86-inch TV. It takes up a fucking wall. So.
Oh, I love 86-inch TV.
It's a beautiful thing. But I have all the DVDs. Like, I have that in the closet. And that was before, you know, network stuff. But I'm sure some of these DVDs aren't even on the network either. You know, so, you know, looking at it from here, they got the Rock special, All Hell in a Cell special, that Hogan disc thing, Foley.
Destruction of the Warrior and the Vince McMahon documentary, and I know they're not on the network, so.
I got those, yeah. I got those, so that's good. Yeah. The Vince one that's weird. Why the fuck wouldn't they have that on there?
I don't know. I think it's because he talks about wanting to fuck Stephanie, or Stephanie talks about wanting to have him to be the dad of her baby in a story or whatever. And I think
God.
he didn't realize maybe that was going to be on there. So I don't know. I don't know exactly why. That's the only thing I can think of. But it was removed, and it was also not sold anymore.
You know, that history of WrestleMania 2 is nonsense. If you ever did you get that DVD set? It's they have history of WrestleMania, and then it's Mr. WrestleMania, the Shawn Michaels one with all of his WrestleMania matches. Did you see that one?
Yeah, I think so.
It's terrible because Jesse Ventura is muted. So it's only Gorilla, and there's giant pauses. And then Gorilla, because he won that lawsuit to where he gets profits from selling his voice. So they just cut him out, and it's terrible. And they skip the Benoit match. I'm like, it is ridiculous. I go, you guys are fucking assholes. That's all there is to it. They are fucking morons. They're the cancel culture people who have to apologize they do anything wrong.
Will they adhere to it? Yeah.
And that'll bring us into something on Raw when it comes to the pentagram written on the floor. I was like, how soon are they going to get in trouble for this and bow down for it? They are going to get in trouble. And they're because I saw some people on fucking Instagram, this is a little too far. And I wrote those people and I yelled at them. And I go, it's people like you who fucking have ruined this, because now they will get yelled at by you idiots that say, you can't do this. Anything edgy.
What are you talking about? What?
With Alexa sitting in the pentagram. The Devil Star, the pentagram. You didn't get this in your fucking thing where she's sitting in a fucking Devil Star?
I saw the bit. Yeah, I saw when she's sitting backstage with her eyes, with her contacts in and stuff. I didn't acknowledge what she was sitting. I'm just not aware of what a pentagram is.
I think maybe you looked away, but it zooms back and she's sitting in the middle of a fucking Devil Star with candles around it.
See, I don't know what I didn't know that a devil had a star, and I didn't know what a pentagram was.
Yeah.
So I did see it.
You've seen Richard Ramirez with the star on his hand before, and he said, "Hail Satan." You've seen that before in the courtroom?
Nah.
So yeah, it's a big symbol for the devil. And so I'm like, people are going to cry. Here we go. They did something edgy for the first time, and look what's going to fucking happen. And people are like, you went too far. And I go, it's you motherfuckers that's going to ruin this because you cry and you can't handle it. Someone said, please go back to PG. I couldn't believe it.
Do you remember when they linked the crucifixion to Jesus?
Yeah, they fucking with the Undertaker thing, you mean?
Mm.
Yeah, and it was, and Bruce with his bullshit about it's a symbol. Fuck you. Shut the fuck. Just take responsibility and say, yes, fuck you. Who cares? It's a TV show. I do what I fucking want to do. Like, fucking, what's his name? Raven apologizing on ECW for a fucking crucifix. Fuck off. Tell people they will blow you. It's unfucking real with how everybody bows to people. Oh, I apologize. I'm fucking sorry. Fuck off. Turn your fucking channel, you asshole. Fucking put on TV something edgy, something fucking different. And people cry, and I said, oh, it's you fucking pearl clutchers that are the reasons why we don't get anything fucking good. Because God forbid, something said, nobody replied to that. They shut their fucking mouths.
My life would be if I went back and if I did things and then apologized quickly afterward.
You wouldn't have enough time in your life to apologize for the amount of shit that you've done. And the same with me.
At least for like the bigger stuff.
And it's stupid shit. It's fucking opinions or something. Or, if something is like that on TV, it guess, God bless you. It's not your taste. No need to watch. Go, this is not for me. You can turn the channel and fucking not watch. We will complain about this shit. We will continue to watch. So complaining though for something, we're complaining in a different way. We're not complaining for I'm offended by something. We're complaining for they don't have a storyline of things. There's one storyline. That's what we complain about. It's a lot different than I'm upset by your content. I'm upset by the content being horrible is what I'm upset by. A completely different thing.
I have to be bored to death.
Yeah, it's bored. It's boredom. It's not offensive. It's boredom.
Just offensively.
That's what I'm offended by, being bored. Let's go over SmackDown. We've done 30 minutes and haven't talked about what happened this week. That's what we should almost do, is just do opinions. That's a better show. Fuck. All right, SmackDown. Here we go. Reigns talked to Pierce in the ring, and he says, Edge is scared. That's why he hasn't picked me yet. It has nothing to do with him waiting for Elimination Chamber. Paul says Roman doesn't need to be in the Chamber actual match, just has to be at the pay-per-view. Paul says how Roman isn't at Mania like last year, and last year was the worst Mania of all time.
He's a typical Jew. He's just trying to get people out of the Chamber.
Watch out, you're going to get people offended. Pierce says, okay, so they'll have a chamber match, and whoever wins it will get you. First two entrants are Jey Uso and Owens. They're allowed to be in right away. So Pierce is in the back with Sonya. This is the first thing that drives me fucking crazy. He's in the back with Sonya, and he goes, we have 2 hours to fill this chamber match. Now I'm like I'm rushed. I got to get people in this chamber match. Sonya goes, how about this idea? We have a tag match, and the winners of the tag match get in. So there's 2 spots right away. He goes, okay. And she goes, it's already booked. They're on the way to the ring. So what if he says, this is a terrible idea. I don't want to do this. It's obviously this is right again. This is planned. Duh. But I don't like it when it's like that. I don't like when you use different logic and go, but in real life, this would be a problem maybe. You can't do this at a job and go, oh, I just approved this to happen. And the boss is like, well, what the fuck? I didn't tell you to do this. I don't know why she's a fucking consultant in the first place. I still don't understand this.
She got fired as a wrestler.
Yeah, I guess so. And then she just shows up in her suit. I don't know. Ray and Dominic versus Corbin and Sammy. Corbin and Sammy win, which I was actually surprised by. I figured it's going to be mostly good guys because you got, you're going to go against Roman. Dirty Dogs talk to Sonya and Pierce, and they want to get in too. They go, how about another tag match? I go, boy, this is real creative. Let's have another tag team match. They're so pressed on time, they're just like, shove somebody in this match. So they go, okay, but you got to beat Bryan and Cesaro. Okay, but everybody always freak out. Oh my God, I have to fight these people. This is what they do for a living, but they're always upset when they have to actually wrestle someone. The Samaritan butters up Sasha in the back, or the Somalian. He butters up Sasha, which I said, okay, well maybe here's a little bit of a fucking story. Something's gonna go on here. He gives her like a champagne and says, I'm sorry for interfering last week, and I think you're great. So he trying to bone, and she kind of accepts this drink, and I thought, oh, he's poisoning her. That was the first thing I fucking thought. Why would you drink anything from him?
Being all like smirky afterwards.
Yeah, he turned around and look, and I think he checked her ass out. So she drinks, and she's always hanging out with that fucking Callisto. Always. Have you seen Callisto's wife? Oofa.
What is Oofa? Good or bad?
Bad. She wears that mask. She wears a mask too. I don't know why, but she's a big girl, and they were at that fucking Daytona. Biggie talks.
Ali's wife wears that headdress.
Yeah, but she's pretty in the face at least, and she's not a fatso. She might have, I go, I can't tell if her body's fat or not. And then she like opened up her, dress, and she had a strap of dynamite. I said, no wonder she looked lumpy.
Tweet us if you caught my joke that he missed.
What did you say? What did I not hear?
You have to listen to this shit show.
Okay. I'm not listening anything. Well, sometimes you cut out. The phone gets chopped off from me talking. Sometimes that might help. Big E talks in the ring. Last week, much like Tom Brady on a boat parade, I was still standing. I thought that was fucking pretty good. I enjoyed that. And then he was wobbling.
Are they trying to get these references in? They look desperate.
I mean, the thing is, that's Big E's team, so he want to throw in a Bucks win the Super Bowl fucking reference, Apollo comes out and he wants a shot. I was very glad at this writing. I was very happy that they addressed this correctly. And E says, I've beaten you over and over. You don't get any more shots. Back of the line, fuck off. And bring out my next opponent. You're not getting a shot. I thank God, because this is all people have to do. I want another shot. You beat somebody 10 times. They want a shot. Shinsuke, he shows up. So now it's Shinsuke versus Big E for the IC title. Apollo interferes, of course, because he's sitting at ringside, and it's a DQ. Now, let me suck you off here, Billy, because I wrote. Did you read my notes at all from this week?
I've been moving. I haven't had time this week.
Okay, so this will be all new to you. Rollins returns, and they make a big thing about this. All the wrestlers around the ring, and I'm like, why? No more Messiah. As you said about him being a dad, so all the marks who gave you shit about being wrong, Billy fucking nails it. It was a week later. It just was not at the fucking Rumble. He comes out there and says, I am changed because I'm a father. Exactly what Billy told you he would say. The difference only is, and I don't think Billy even said he would be a good guy or bad guy or any of that, is he's still a fucking asshole, even though he's a father. But he's the trust the process guy, one of these weird things. And it's odd that all the wrestlers around the ring, I'm like, what is this? And they didn't change it to... they didn't change everything at the Rumble. He's back to his old music now. He doesn't have the Messiah music, and because they got to bring him back, so he's the same as he was before.
They've done a mixture of what they were going to do. Obviously, this was going to be the way that he baited in Brian, where like I think they were supposed to go towards Vince. So the process of what I heard was, Vince just had a straight up change of mind, and he wanted Seth to be a good guy, come out to his new music, win the Rumble, and say I've changed, and that would be it. Roman and Seth didn't want to do that, and they didn't think it was fair that Brian just get pulled out of the match. So they were going to work towards a triple threat where Rollins was going to go in between, like you didn't know where he was, like he wasn't quite in line with Roman because he was going to be his opponent. But at the same, he was going to do like the father thing with Brian in order to get Brian back in a match. So the idea was that Rollins would turn around and go, Brian would retire because he didn't win the Rumble. Rollins would say, look, like I don't want you to let down your daughter, and I don't want her to see you like retire this early. He goes, I'm going to give you, I've known you for a long time, whatever, I want to give you an opportunity. So there was going to lead to Rollins putting his shot up and losing it, but then turning back heel again, because they wanted to have that heel what am I trying to say? They wanted to have that heel uncertainty there, where like, you know, where you didn't know if he'd fully gone back to a babyface, because he was supposed to come back and be so disingenuous about it. Like he was going to be like, I've really changed. Like I'm a dad. Like I'm just a super, super good guy now. He was supposed to do the super good guy switch, which when people do it and it's just so unbelievable, like you're too good. Right. There's a disingenuousness about it. Right, so he was supposed to. Oh, it's white. This is what I'm reading my text now. It's white because this is really old news for me because I got this by the Rumble. Okay, so he was supposed to go white, like super white meat is what it's called. So he was supposed to go super white meat, and then when,
like Kurt Angle, very too good guy.
Right, yeah, drink your milk and shit. So and when he did put the title shot up against Brian, he would then like try and then he would lose, and then he would go back to himself and attack him and say, yeah, you won a title, you're in the match at WrestleMania, but you didn't take like my spot or whatever. So they were going to find a way where Roman was the absolute heel, Brian was the absolute babyface, and just say Roman was the absolute heel. Yeah. Yeah. And Rollins was somewhere between. He's a heel because he's not Brian, but he's also like still trying to beat Roman, so he's not stealing from Roman. That was the idea behind what they were trying to work towards. They could still do it with this current character, but they have like removed the music and they did go with the baby line and whatever, and they did make it sound disingenuous. Like all of that stuff did happen.
Well, they have all the wrestlers out there, and then he says, I want to be your leader, and his slogan is embrace the vision. They all leave, so he's kind of like David Koresh a little bit. By the way, why would Mysterio be ringside for this? He'd be the last person there. He'd be like, fuck you, I ain't fucking out there. And we actually saw Murphy was standing out there too. It was the last time we saw him. everyone leaves except for Cesaro. He's the last one, and then he says, "You haven't changed," and leaves. And Rollins attacks him from behind, takes his knee out. Liv versus Bayley. Liv is making a push to be back-to-back Miss Lingus this year, by the way. She looks fucking all right, man. I like it.
Yeah, but when you look at how many people are around at the moment this year, I don't think she's in with a shot.
We're gonna see. That comes up in March on the Lingus Mafia show.
It'll be good because there's loads. There's a lot of people I think that can win. I don't think it's cut and dry Alexa or anything like that. Although I do think she will win again with this character.
It always comes down to Alexa and Mandy. Lana hovers around. Charlie hovers around. Charlie's good. Peyton's pretty quick to be gone.
Yeah, I don't like that purple hair at all. I think that's not doing it for her.
It's that the accent drives me out of my fucking mind. Like I wrote that on Twitter when I was like, I go, yeah, I mean, realistically, how many people could stay because of the accent? You'd be like, all right, I can handle this for a couple of days, but
it's a shame like Paige is not getting like TV exposure and stuff, because I think if she was doing a character, she'd be right up there
with those new giant titties. Yeah, real quickly.
I still think Scarlett's on NXT, so she's probably not going to win, but she's fucking, absolutely banging.
And Penelope, because she's in AEW, she doesn't get any traction either.
No.
But Nyla Rose, right to the top.
So Sasha's going to be in and around.
You know what? You're right. Sasha's going to make it pretty far as well.
I think Sasha or Alexa, will win.
Okay, good to know. All right.
You should do odds. You want me to do odds?
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, you should do odds. We'll have the bookmaker. That'd be great. Billy the bookmaker. That's what you would do.
Yeah, add a new type. All right.
Billy Bats. Okay, so again, during this match, Billy Kay shows up, ruins things, Bayley wins. Billy came to apologize, and I'm really glad that Cole mentioned it. And they didn't let this go either, because the first thing I said is, why the fuck is she choose now to come to do this? This makes no sense. And Cole even said, why would she pick this time to apologize? Good. Thank God. Street Profits go to Daytona to give some hillbilly fucking redneck racer a WWE belt. So they have the Profits and they have Sasha going to Daytona. Don't send the fucking black people to this hillbilly garbage. Why would they do this? They sent... That's a fucking hillbilly fucking sport with a bunch of redneck fucking slobs.
But no fans in attendance, is there?
No, but it just has to do with fucking Daytona. And you know what's funny? Sasha never said, gentlemen, start your engines. I watched it. I didn't sit there and watch it, but I was flipping channels. And during that time, like one of the fucking announcers inside the fucking commentary booth said it, because it was delayed for fucking hours because it was fucking raining. But they forced through. They did that shit at fucking night.
Every time I bet on it, it's been delayed. Like I know a guy that like sends me stuff because he's trying to get a job with me, and he sends me that stuff, and he's good. But like I tried to follow a couple of picks, and I've always had to check them in the morning because it's always fucking been rained out.
I can't sit and watch that. I've tried. I go, maybe I'll get into NASCAR. Ooh, and that's fucking painful. You can't watch a fucking thing go around in a circle. It's fun to play on video game.
I can see you getting into that.
I can't. I've tried soccer and I've tried that. And I'm like, fuck, the worst I could get is probably a little bit of tennis. I could sit there during like, big events I could watch. And I'd actually even rather watch the women's tennis for some reason, because I'll watch Serena. I know who the fuck she is. Okay. Profits and Profits versus Otis and Gable. Fucking waste of fucking time with this Otis and Gable bullshit. Profits win. Sasha says Bianca should pick her. Bianca shows up. And before she makes a choice, Grimace and Shayna, sorry, close enough. They show up. And they play the My Whole video now. Now this is going to be the new thing. Everything, like, they're out there and they make Nia fall on her ass. So you're waiting for her to scream my hole again, and I'm shocked she hasn't. But it's a lot of that. And there's a lot of joking, like on Raw, where they fucking double entendre the word hole, you know. To get into the chamber, Bryan and Cesaro versus the Dirty Dogs non-tag match. And of course, this is always the funniest thing. So the tag team champions got fucking lost here. They lost. So they would have lost their fucking titles if it was non-title. The old days, remember? Mr. Perfect never lost that fucking IC. Never lost a fucking match unless he lost the fucking title. There was no beat me and you get a shot and they beat them. Never. So nowadays, you beat them left and right until the title's on the line, and then you can't fucking lose for some reason. After this match, let me see where I was. After the match, they get jumped by all the people in the chamber. Everyone comes running to the ring. Everyone fights each other. KO shows, stuns everyone. So Owen has to win this, would you think? Or do they get Cesaro to win only to lose to Roman because they've been pushing him and trying to give him some traction just so he has a guy to beat? It looks like it's going to be Owens, I would assume, though.
It'll be Cesaro, unless Cesaro's going to Mania, which I don't think he is.
Mm-hmm. So it's Cesaro would win this just to. That's why they've been having him be on a tear, so you actually have a halfway, like it's believable, like he's going to beat Roman. When we all know.
Yeah.
It's Raw time. And time to get your fucking NyQuil out. Raw is NyQuil. Miz TV with Drew. Miz won't shut up while he's interviewing Drew. And Drew says, you interrupt me one more time, there's going to be a problem. And, of course, he does. And he's calling him Andy the whole time, which I found that to be funny. So Andy gets he headbutts Miz. And old Andy throws this briefcase. It's not as good as Brock throwing the fucking car door, but he throws the briefcase. Miz says he will cash in after this chamber, but even though he says it, it doesn't mean he will. And then he takes himself out of the chamber match, and he says, well, I don't need to be in this, which does make sense. At the same time, why not give yourself 2 shots? Win this chamber match, and then you don't have to use your money in the bank. So you have a backup. You could always jump back in if you have your briefcase. Riddle versus Riddle. Go ahead.
Yeah, it is a Riddle.
Yes. Riddle and Lucha House Party, which my line on Twitter was, and I was going to say, oh, so there's now 3 guys on one team that can't speak English. But I realized the Mexicans knew English better than Riddle did. I was like, fuck, the guy's got perfect English. I can't use that joke. Riddle wins this match they go against the Hurt Business. And Riddle wins this, and Lashley shows up and puts him in the Hurt Lock. I'm assuming Riddle now wins this weekend, because all he does is get his ass beat by Lashley.
No, I don't think he wins.
Okay.
Because Keith Lee's in that match too, right?
Yes.
Yeah, no, I don't think he wins.
Miz in back with Pierce. And Miz says, I want Morrison to have my spot. Pierce says, no, just can't give it like that. Mandy is in the back. How dare she go in the back with Bad Bunny? I'm bothered by this. I go, Bad Bunny going to try to fuck too. I mean, why wouldn't he? I don't blame him.
Well, I mean, it's what I was talking about earlier. Like the fucking, even here, like the acting is fucking dog shit. Like if you can't, I mean, it's not on him because he's like, it's this place. I think with the way that they conduct, the way that they do things, I think that's like even brought him down. I'm sure if they didn't overproduce him and they said, hey, you're famous and you want to fuck this girl and you're you, Mandy Rose. So you're famous, you want to fuck this girl. That's you done. And Mandy Rose, you want to fuck him, so you guys go out and do that. So action. that would have been more believable. And instead, what they did is they gave him 2 sheets of paper and said, "This is what he's going to say. So you're going to say, go away and learn this, and then come back and you're going to say it to each other." And that's what they did instead. They went and made them go and learn the way that a 65 and an 80-year-old thought it would be said.
Mandy is fucking juicy, man. She got ass and legs, and she says she weighs the heaviest has ever weighed, and she's 145. And in all the right places. She's thick. Tozawa wins the 24/7 title in the back, and then Damian Priest slams his face against the fucking wall, just so Bad Bunny could win them belt. And I said, oh, so this is just so you have the 24/7 title on Saturday Night Live this weekend because Bad Bunny is the musical guest.
I imagine he fucking takes that on.
I will bet you anything he's wearing that fucking thing on Saturday Night Live. That is the only reason they gave him this belt, is to get some rub and have him wear this fucking title.
How are they going to get it off him then?
Oh, next Monday. Or maybe they fucking have R-Truth pin him at fucking Saturday Night Live.
No, you got to keep him unbeaten.
Oh, my God. Oh, fuck.
He's like Hunker.
Kofi and Pierce and Miz in the back. They say they have to have a match to see who gets in this chamber. Kofi and Miz. And I was like, so what was where was Morrison? They lied and said he was somewhere, but do we know what was going on? Has he got a COVID?
Yeah, probably has COVID.
Probably. Royce and Lacey versus Charlotte and Asuka. Lacey stops the match and says, I'm pregnant. And, of course, we all say, here we go again with these fucking stupid storylines. But she's really pregnant. And I'm like, what fucking timing? All this they are putting into this. There's a story, finally. And this is what happens. She was about to win the fucking title. If I was her, I'd almost not tell anyone and I'd have the match. Fuck it. But that's pretty early to announce you're pregnant because a lot of people don't like to announce for a while because they get scared that they're going to fucking, have the kid die. So maybe the kid will.
It's Ric Flair's kid, apparently, though.
Yeah, right? He was all excited. I go, yeah, this guy's chewing Blue Chew. The problem is they put in real life too often. Like, they'll show us, we just saw that she had a kid and a husband. 2 minutes. Right. We saw this not too long ago before she had a karaoke contest and freaked out. And we know Flair's deal with the wife and all. And so then it's like they got to go one or the other. They go too back and forth where they go, okay, now forget that she has a real life. Let's go back to this. So, okay. I don't know how they're going to fucking do this. I don't know. They have to now totally do a whole fucking new story. They have to redo everything. All their plans are fucking scrapped. Flair's got to fucking have to do something else. Who is he going to take over for someone else and be someone else's manager now and continue this with another person? Any thought?
I have no idea. They're going to have a real baby at the end of it. So what they can do is just, I guess they could take her off TV and have the only reason they even then this is the other thing about it, like they probably are aware of what you're saying, even though they don't do anything about the whole social media side of things. Mm-hmm. But the original idea was that, and you'll now see her go way down the card. This was supposed to be Peyton's thing, and Peyton Royce didn't want to do it because that's the girl they want to push. They wanted to come up with an idea to get her higher up the card. They've been giving her wins over people all the time. There was nothing for Lacey. Peyton Royce was the one that pinned Bayley at Survivor Series. Peyton Royce was the one that who did she get the win over recently? She pinned
somebody.
She pinned Charlotte in a match the week before. She got the win when Ric Flair tripped Charlotte, right?
Yes.
Yeah, she got to get that pin, but yeah, she didn't want to do the fucking story, and
why wouldn't she want to do this?
Because she's actually with somebody, isn't she?
Well, she's married to fucking number 10.
Yeah.
But so she was was she Owen Hart now? She doesn't want to look like she's cheating in the storyline.
Yeah, it's an Owen Hart thing. Yeah, because obviously. Jesus. Because her husband's on the other show, so I think it was looked upon as it would be more seen as a rib as opposed to Lacey's doing it. I think. I don't know. I can't really think what the mentality was.
I can't even believe. And meanwhile, it's not like she's got to fucking make out with anybody either. So, I mean, it's not like Lacey gave a kiss on the cheek to Flair, so it's the same stupid shit. Oh my God. So fucking dumb. All right. Sheamus is in the back with Charlie. You know, he just talks about that, you know, how he wants fucking Drew and he'll be the world champion. Kofi versus Miz for a spot in the chamber. Kofi wins this. Lana and Naomi in the back. They do that whole thing where they say whole a lot. Lana versus Shayna. See, this is where I'm not even writing who fucking wins at these points, too, because it's like, who gives a fuck? Shayna does come off well with her move. I'm always convinced, like, she's hurting somebody. I said, she looks like she's hurting someone and isn't. Nia just hurts people. Braun in the back, we finally see him again. He's been fucking gone, which is real weird. Like, they have nothing for him. So he shows up and he's yelling at Pierce, I should be in this match, but he says, only WWE former champs. He says, I'm Universal. He says, sorry, can't be in it. Gauntlet match to see who gets in the fucking chamber who like comes out last. I go, why? I don't like to fucking know. Let it be lot. It's like that Rumble thing.
It's not just that, right? It's not just that. Who comes out last? What are the rules of the Elimination Chamber?
Oh, the match doesn't start until everyone gets in?
No, that's War Game.
Oh, that's War Game. Sorry.
The Elimination Chamber is a match where like one guy enters at each time, and it's an advantage to come in at the end, right?
Yes.
This was the same fucking. This was the Elimination Chamber. Why would you do the match on Monday? The cage, as much as it, it looks like a thing, it's not going to be any different. Okay, so like guys might rub their faces in it and stuff, but essentially it's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Other than the option that 2-3 guys can be in there because this match can drag because people can be in there like for 5 minutes doing headlocks and arm locks and shit, or like killing time till the next guy comes in and does his spot. That's the only difference.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, it is a little bit of a gauntlet. It is like a Royal Rumble with pins, the elimination chamber.
Yeah.
But this is, for me, this is way, way fucking too similar. Like, you're giving people a very, very close version of the fucking match. It was like, I didn't like way back when they booked Rock and Hogan, and I don't know if people remember it because the match was so, well pulled off. But Hogan pinned The Rock on Smackdown like 2 days before the pay-per-view or 3 days before the pay-per-view. It was dumb. Like, they made it obvious The Rock was going to win. They built up a 50-50 match. The Rock was hit by a truck. He only returned on Raw. He returned on Raw, and him and Austin faced the NWO on SmackDown, and Hogan pinned him. Did you know that or remember that?
I don't remember that, no.
Well, it was fucking stupid. He pinned him with the boot and the leg drop clean.
Wow.
And so it was no chance. I'm going to get you the video of it in a minute.
How the fuck has that happened? Clean.
Yeah. It was stupid.
The gauntlet match, AJ versus Kofi. AJ wins. AJ versus Drew. Drew wins. Drew versus Jeff Hardy. Drew wins. Drew versus Orton. There's a count out because all the TV monitors turn into Alexa Bliss, who is on the side of the devil. So Drew wins that. And then Sheamus comes out, and Sheamus gets his win. So Sheamus will be the last man in the fucking Elimination Chamber. And that is your wrestling show. You know what's funny is we still did an hour of this show, Billy, and for the first 30 minutes, we just talked about how we hate wrestling now.
Yeah.
Thanks for paying attention.
Well, I mean, like, I'm just getting you the clip.
Yeah, I know.
How can I don't know how you can enjoy this. Like, I don't.
You can't.
Who's getting? I see these guys reviewing this. They're going, "Oh, this was a good match. It was a solid match." Like, the win came at 7 minutes and 15 seconds. Like, who cares?
Yeah, I can't even imagine having to do a straight fucking review show.
I want you to watch this on the
okay.
Well, we leave the airwaves.
It'll be interesting because will I be able to watch it on the phone with you at the same time? That might be a problem.
No, I think it'll be fun.
Okay. I have to watch this. Let's see what happens. It would be better if I could gamble on pay-per-views. That's for sure. But I cannot over here. I cannot do that at all. And I keep telling Billy needs to give me some fucking betting tips for some games that are coming up so I could build up my thing so I could take all my money out of my betting system.
Oh, you missed all the tennis. But
What do you mean I missed?
Yeah.
I've asked you. I asked you a while ago. You ignore me, dick. Let me see. Well, now there's an ad.
Need to get YouTube red.
There we go. Skip it.
3 on 2.
So you did say you need to skip like not that much because it's not a very long clip. It's like a minute and 43. So skip like a minute.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh, well, it's a minute 43, so how far should I go? Okay.
A minute's too long. So skip. Go to 50 seconds. Gone.
Okay.
Well, you got to
56.
admit, Hogan looks great. Look at that body. Look at
Oh, leave a minute.
Okay. All right. He's with The Rock here.
my entire life. And look at Austin. Austin will Scott Hall.
Well, okay. He gets hit in the back of the head by Scott Hall only.
I didn't even see
Hogan
that
picks
part.
him up. Well, I mean, it's nothing, though. It's... Wow.
How stupid is that? People don't. That's Rock. That's Rock and Hogan against. Sorry, that's the NWO against.
Yeah.
He doesn't get hit in the head by Scott Hall. I
No,
can't see
Scott
that.
Hall comes in from behind. Yeah. And then,
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
then Austin runs in and takes them all out of the fucking ring. And then Hogan just
Yeah,
picks up The Rock, throws him into the fucking boot.
Oh yeah, that's not a cheap spot.
No,
That's
it's
fucking-
not even really. I mean, it's not like he hit him with something. He hit him in the back.
So you've got the match on Sunday. They've never touched, right? Hogan and The Rock, like, so you know, he's coming in from WCW. The Rock's been there, wrestling's past, wrestling's future, all that build they did. The Rock comes back, I believe, on this show or like maybe the Raw before, and makes a return from the. You know what? I think it is this show. Earlier on in the show, he makes his return from the truck thing and gets pinned clean 6 days before WrestleMania.
I always hated when they did they're tagging with someone so they get like that's the tease that you actually get them to touch. I don't want them to touch. Don't. I don't need a fucking tag match and go, oh, well, it wasn't one-on-one. No. And then it's almost a tell as well because whoever gets pinned is not going to lose.
And that's it. You knew at WrestleMania that Hogan and Hall were losing to Austin and Rock. Like,
Yeah.
just because of the match.
100%.
But you know they booked the match because like the NWO would have said, oh, you know, we're going to look really weak if we lose both matches on Sunday. And the BW went, all right, so what we're going to do is we're going to put you guys over tonight without thinking that, all right, but the show is ruined for anyone smart. I mean, it wasn't ruined because they did a match that was far better than it was supposed to be. But I think for me, I remember because how dumb that was. Like, you know, now fucking 19 years, like, geez, that WrestleMania is 19 years ago.
That's sad. Jeez, I keep forgetting. I go, my
We're
head old.
dying.
I was that young when it didn't seem like I was that fucking young.
We're half dead. You're more than half dead.
No, I'm not, and I plan to go to 100. I'm okay.
What did your dad get to?
He got to 72.
But he didn't go for those gay walks you go on.
No, and his side of the family, 72 might as well be 172. They were all dead at fucking 50. Like
Right.
everyone with the heart over there. There was there's only one of them left, and she actually lived. She's like 90s, which is like holy shit. Everyone else, they were dead
She doesn't-
well before 60. And it's all that Italian food. It's a lot of grease and smoking for fucking 100 years. It's a lot of that. Like
When COVID went to Italy, it did some like fucking serious damage, didn't it?
oh yeah, that you notice that whole place is all old people. Fucking wiped out half fucking Italy. Yeah, I mean I never met my grandparents on that side. They were dead long before I was fucking alive, and my father was fucking 30 when he had me, and they were long dead. So, you know, I was lucky to get my father for that many fucking years. That was a fucking miracle. And if it wasn't for modern surgeries and medicine, he had heart stints and all that shit constantly. So, yeah, he was it's all heart over there. That's why everybody goes, fuck, I hope you have your mother's side, because my mother's side, they live to 1,000. They all live forever. And nobody has gray hair. It's unbelievable on that side. So I'm like, I'm trying to hope that I land over there. So we'll see. We'll see when I drop dead.
It'll probably be during one of these shows.
It'll be watching Raw, and it'll be by me shooting myself.
Well, there's 2 shows a week. There's a 2 in 7 chance it will be like watching one of these fucking shows.
It'll probably be from watching the Bears, because they give me the fucking heart attack more than wrestling. I'm just disgusted. The Bears give me fucking heart. I grab my chest.
Well, you'll find now you've got Carson Wentz.
I don't have Carson Wentz, you asshole.
I don't know what your problem is. I think that team, that particular team, is like ruined his confidence.
I don't think they helped, but it's been 3 years. He hasn't been any good. He went from like MVP to not being able to do any. I don't know how. I have no idea how it has gotten that bad, but I do not trust my coaching staff for shit anyway, so I don't think that's going to help. I really think he will do well if he goes to Indianapolis, because that's his old quarterback coach and all that shit. And that's where he did the best with them. So I would think that's the best place to go. And if they're wanting a number 1 draft pick, no. They fucking sure to fuck better not fucking get him. Fuck that shit. And I heard like San Francisco is interested too. I'd actually tape Garoppolo. That's how bad it is for me. I would take Garoppolo. The only problem with Garoppolo is that he fucking can't play. He's always injured. But fuck, he went to like Eastern Illinois, something like that. Illinois State, one of those fucking schools that they didn't grab him from. But I would take him too, and just bridge to the next fucking quarterback anyway, because nobody's gonna be the fucking answer. You might get J.J. Watt though. That's a topic they were talking about, because he's from Wisconsin. So, and he's looking for a ring. So he's not going to go to a place that doesn't have a ring. I would assume he wants to go to Pittsburgh because his brothers play there. Pittsburgh doesn't have a dime. They're over the cap already. So how the fuck are they going to do that? They're talking about releasing Ben now too.
Really?
Yeah, because he's owed $40 million. And they're like, well, we're already over the cap. So they have to restructure like crazy, and he has to take like a way big pay cut. So does he want to do that? However, he could pull a Brady, put him on a team that's ready to go, and boom, he could fucking be the difference maker for one team. But what team is like that one piece away right now? What would you think? Maybe the Colts. That could work. You put him, Big Ben, on the Colts. That's got a great offensive line, which is good for an old guy.
Well, that's where Wentz thinks he can go, isn't it?
Yeah, and I would think that's his best bet too with that coach. But I wouldn't trust him obviously as much as I trust Ben.
We'll see.
Yeah, welcome to our NFL show. Anyway, that is your wrestling show this week.
It's all fixed sports, so they'll just cover them together.
I prefer fixed football than fixed wrestling. At least I'm entertained and fucking.
Well, you got the main babyface went over again, like Hogan. Hogan robbed for they put Hogan over all the young stars again.
Can you believe? As much as you don't like Brady, I guarantee you have to side with me on this one. These people that are fucking clutching their pearls because he threw the trophy to another guy. And because he got drunk after winning a fucking Super Bowl? Oh my God, how dare he? What is wrong with people that they're like, oh, disgraceful, he got fucking drunk.
I feel sorry for that guy, the statue maker's daughter. She had a point. I think. Give
me a break. It's not even the Bible being thrown. I wouldn't care, but Jesus Christ, it's a fucking
you gotta be looking at
trophy.
You got to be looking at banning him for 8 to 10 games.
You know what's funny is I would understand it more if it was the Stanley Cup, because that one is the same one that goes around always. It's always the same. So it's not like, here's a new one for you. It's not like this one is the old world title that handed through the fucking years and you fucked it up. So I'm like, oh my God, these fucking people. Which that's what bothers me about wrestling too, is it should still be the same fucking belt. And then they could say, this is from fucking, all these people had this same fucking belt. Nope. because you change it every fucking 2 minutes to fucking big symbol. Hey, everyone, we're WWE. In case you haven't noticed, the title says so. A giant fucking, hey, look at me. Fuck. I hate them. I hate them, Billy. I hate them. Just so you know. Go tweet us. Tell us how much you like this show. Otherwise, we're quitting. You could tweet me at Lingus Mafia and tell me, please continue the show, sir. Please, sir, may I have another? I watched NXT this week, the pay-per-view. Did you watch it?
No, not yet. I wanted to watch it with Austin today, but he didn't want to watch it.
It's good for like wrestling matches. The problem is I haven't watched NXT in 100 years, and some of these people, I don't even know who the fuck they are. I'm like, I've never seen the guy before. You know, so I'm like, all right, and I don't know the story between anybody, so you're like, who cares? But NXT is one of those, like, you just watch the pay-per-views and who cares? 'Cause it's always interesting. You know, they're always fucking, you know, Meltzer 5 stars out there. So, you know, if they were in Tokyo Domes, they would rip the fucking place apart with their stars. But where can we find all your shit to do, Billy, besides going to at Tweets on a Poll and podcastonapoll.com for the Russo Show?
Lockbetting.com is all my betting stuff, but we are on the 17th now, so I would wait until the 1st of March because the tennis is finishing. We are making money every night in the NBA, so you will make your money back still, but like make the most as you possibly get the most you possibly can out of it. Sign up on the 1st of March. Wrestling is over at thedaysheets.com. I have a really good and long report, an accurate report on the Peacock deal. That's available now over to daysheets.com. You can also get betting packages there for wrestling, boxing, and UFC. It's one package, a combat pack. My Twitter is at SGP Soccer. The pinned tweet is always my P&L from the month before. And yeah, Russo's show on Fridays. But I won't talk too much about that until he does his podcast and a poll tweets.
How? Well, we'll never talk about it. When is this Peacock thing going to be exclusive? Like, when do I have to sign up to this Peacock?
Fastlane.
All right. Then I have to actually sign up over there. Otherwise, I won't have the network. Like, if I go to click on it, it'll just be nothing.
I have no idea.
Yeah. So I'm waiting to be like, well, I got no choice and I got to switch over. Or what they should do is automatically your subscription turns over to them. So you just go on it, you know, and it's there. But we know it won't be that fucking easy. Make us fucking jump through a fucking hoop. All right, everybody. I'm Cav. He's Billy. We're out of fucking time. I've come back because I forgot that we have to end the show like this.
My name is Derek Montilla, occasionally known as a big-ass piece of shit.